gave me permission to embrace the idea of memory being myth and fiction, of time travel and the concept of the loop, things moving in a circular and repetitious way, like time and memory and legacy work. Krista Franklin. Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Earth, Sea, Love podcast. This podcast is for and about women of colour and our relationship with nature. Hosted by me, Sheree Mack. The Earth, Sea, Love podcast is committed to exploring the experiences of women of colour with Mother Nature. We want to provide spaces where the hidden voices in the environmental and conservation conversations can explore their relationship with the natural world. Inspired by our time spent outdoors, we amplify the voices of women of colour, our stories, our conversations, interviews, photography, writing, and artwork. We'll be exploring our legacies, histories, and memories which have had an influence and effect upon how we perceive ourselves within the natural world and within the environmental and climate justice movements. Welcome to the Earth, Sea, Love podcast. The Earth, Sea, Love podcast is a space for women, feminine, and non-binary people who are Black, Indigenous, people of colour to explore their relationship with nature. Thank you. Good morning. It's Sheree here, your host of the Earth, Sea, Love podcast. And how are you? I'm recording this in mid-March and I'm here, maybe not having much to say, but holding myself to account when I said that I would be releasing at least one episode of this podcast for each of the months of 2023. So here I am, keeping that commitment. And so much has been happening since the last time I've been talking to you, and also a lot hasn't been happening. It's that I've been saying to people, because I've been having, coming out of my 3-month hibernation, let's say. But I've still been saying I've got sort of 1 foot left in winter, going at a slow pace. And I've got another foot sort of like springing forward into spring, sort of. So I'm recording this nearly at the spring equinox. There's moments or days strung together where I'm feeling the sap rising. I'm drawing up those nutrients from the soil that I've been bedding down or planting or allowing to rest, let's say, during the winter. And yeah, I'm feeling a bit of a quickening in my energy. Ideas are flowing. I'm completing applications, essays, not as fast as I'd like, obviously, but I'm all right with that because, again, slow practice, going at my slow pace, and still 1 foot in winter, 1 foot in spring. So how has this been manifesting within my healing journey? Well, I would say, and this is nothing new. This is not new shit coming to light, but there has been procrastination. Let's just say procrastination in the fact that I haven't picked up Alex L's book, How We Heal, since the last episode, which was, I want to say, mid-Feb. I've moved it around, and the journal that I'm writing in while I'm reading this book has been moved around from room to room, maybe in a bag as well, but it hasn't actually been open, and I haven't been doing the work, actively doing the work. And I'm not going to beat myself up about this, because there's times that it might seem that we're stopping, resting, regrouping, and I don't mean physically here. I mean psychologically and emotionally. I've been taking on a lot of new ways of being and thinking, and I think I needed things to distill, to settle, to come to some new understandings, basically, before I move forward. Now, I can say that now in hindsight, looking back. But at the time, I might have been going through this period of not picking up this book, not actively working on my healing, and beating myself up about it, saying, you should be doing this, Sheree, you should be doing that. But, there's so much wisdom to be had within ourselves, within my body, that I am learning at this late stage in life to listen to. Remember, I've said my word of the year is listen. And again, I say to myself, I should be reading this and reading that about listening and getting more adept at listening. But really, it's in the practice. And I think that I am practicing listening. What's coming up for me? What is my body telling me? What am I hearing? And that can be consciously through, my morning pages, my visual journaling on a day-to-day basis. And it can be subconsciously when things might be ruminating, and then another day and it becomes crystal clear. Oh, this was the message. This is what you were telling me. I'm super grateful that I've had this time and space to hibernate, to rest, to go slow. And I know it can't continue forever. So yes, things are starting to move more out into the outside world. And that can be through certain gigs, certain lectures. I just completed a lecture for the feminist lecture series that's part of the London Drawing Group, and this was about Black British women reclaiming the landscape. And this was all about how Black women are accessing, appreciating and documenting the British landscape. I put in to do these things, these opportunities, as a way of pushing myself, of stepping out of comfort zones, about taking a risk, because, I had a vision or an inkling to write about this. But it wasn't until I got accepted to present this lecture did I actually sit down and start writing this, gathering my resources, gathering what I knew, what I felt, and trying to create some kind of coherent whole to share with an outside audience. And I've done that. There's going to be a recording of it, but it's also, I've got the bare bones there of another essay for the MIxmoir. And have I been talking about the MIxmoir with you? Part memoir, part personal essays, part poetry, part photography, part visual journals, part art, part collage. My memoir of my Black woman's body within the landscape, and how this is part of my healing journey. And, I buried it metaphorically. I'm sure I've talked about it. And then this year, I've been unburying it slightly, a little peeking of the corner, popping out. Now I might have, got the soil off the title and see this working title there. And I'm, again, intentionally, actively engaging with the writing process, the writing practice of this MIxmoir, because it's been living within me for a number of years now. I've been dancing around it. I've been creating notebooks after notebooks, journal after journal about content, about bits and pieces of essays and poems. And like now it's a case of like, I need to get it complete. I need to get it to some kind of whole. Because it's kind of like an energy drain or a dripping tap that is there in the background. And I need to package it up and create that home. So that's something that I've been dipping into during this hibernation time, and something now that I'm engaging with every day by reading something, writing notes about something, figuring out content, structure, writing essays. I'm enjoying the process. I am enjoying the process. And, I'm setting myself a deadline. I'm, approaching a publisher. So that's been good to put some good energy into that project, because once I realized it was part of my healing journey to create this MIxmoir about my connection to nature, things just slipped into place. And I saw this was the work I have to do for me, because I totally believe in I'm healing myself so I can be the best version of myself for others, so I can turn up within my community, better, well, so I'm much more in a better place to support and help others on their healing journey. And I've always said this, but it's just really in the last couple of years that it's clicked in that I can't continue to support, cheerlead, inspire, trailblaze for others if my shit isn't sorted out, if I'm not okay, if I'm not well. And it's not a selfish act, it's a caring act which is collective and within community, because this is what I can be doing behind the scenes to make sure that I'm showing up present and ready for others, for that collective journey to heal, to well-being, to wholeness. And this is, I totally believe this is with all my being, so that when things might get in my way or in my path, or usually it's people and their treatment of me or their attitude about me, or them not doing the work on themselves, it is a case of like I stop and I just think that isn't my task. My task is to work on my own healing, share this journey, which I am doing, and show up for others through either my writing, my speaking, my teaching, my facilitating, my walks, or as I like to say now, workshops, walking outside and doing some creativity. And that's my task. The people who engage with these on so many different fronts, what they take away, what they feel, or how they judge or how they criticize, that isn't my task. That isn't my task. And that is healthy. That is something that I've just come to realize, that I can't control that, and I shouldn't try and control that, and it's not my responsibility to control that or influence that. It's a case like, this is what I bring to the table, and what you take away from that is down to you, not me. That is not my task. And coming to this realization is like, my mind is blown, and it means I can let down, put down that burden that I've been carrying. It's not mine. And I don't want anything. For me, that's a breakthrough. For me, that is self-care and self-love. Okay, so another reason to come here in March, not just because I said fulfilling that commitment of 1 episode a month from the podcast, but also to give you a little flavor of the conversations that I've been having with some super deluxe people and who will be coming on to the podcast in the coming months. And I'm really excited to share these conversations with you because they have been beautiful conversations. And again, they have been food to my soul. I'm so grateful for the people who have taken the time to sit down with me and talk about their creativity, the poetry collections that they've created. And I think about Anatalia here, been creating during lockdown and which was launched. And how there was a sense of community and togetherness, even though during this time they were separated, but how that community support was there to make the launch of her first collection still a beautiful and wholesome experience. And then we've got Letitia, who's such a beautiful soul, again, has been on a healing journey and has been resting. Rest as resistance to be able to keep showing up, to hold space for others. And there's Mindy, who is all about collective belonging. And I've been admiring Mindy's work for years now. I'm so pleased that she agreed to come on and talk about, because I see what she's doing is radical, and that's radical with an E on the end. So yeah, beautiful. And Catherine, we've had Catherine on before, and she's coming back to talk about how her work in ceramics has been developing and how she's been training around ancestral healing. I mean, are you getting a theme here? A theme here around healing. Oh, maybe we should just, I'm saying maybe we should just say 2023 is the year of healing, but I'm sure I've already told you that that's my active, intentional work practice for 2023. And obviously, subconsciously, it's bleeding in a good way to everything else that I'm doing work-wise or showing up in the world. So yeah, that was just a realization there live while I'm recording this for you. The idea that I am seeking out within my community people who can support this healing journey of myself, but then also that healing journey of the community, the collective, the ecosystem all around us. Anyway, that's enough. That's enough for me from now. And hopefully the next episode that you'll be hearing coming out for April will be the first in a series of episodes for spring that are me talking to some beautiful human beings. Yeah, looking forward to sharing those conversations with you. You will not be disappointed. Honestly. Anyway, enjoy this movement into spring with the sap rising and the energy quickening. And, just go canny, go steady. Yeah, take your time to come out of our caves and the coziness and bedding down of winter into the fresh promise of spring. All right then. Thanks for being here. And bye for now.